Trustee Healy.
Here.
Trustee Katsinas.
Here.
Trustee Milani.
Here.
Trustee Compass.
Here.
Trustee Reardon.
Here.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Here.
Mayor Pico. Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, sir.
Approval of the September 19th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustee meeting of September 19th, 2022.
Second.
If there's no questions, call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Accounts payable approval.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the accounts payable from September 20th, 2022 through October 3rd, 2022 in the amount of $4,639,450.20.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Consent agenda.
I'll entertain a motion to approve items A through D and F through I.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Gotta do the,
EE, right? Employee health insurance renewal fiscal year 2023.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to approve employee health insurance renewal agreements with recommended carriers, vendors, and associated expenses effective January 1st, 2023, and authorize the village manager to execute said agreements subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
I abstain. I have a business relationship in conflict with Horton.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
I also abstain. I also have a business relationship with Horton. Motion carries 5-0.
Mayor's report. I'm sorry. No, hold on. Wrong page.
Jumping ahead.
Yeah, way ahead.
And he really wants this meeting to be over with quick.
Envirosight wastewater inspection Ford T250 transit van purchase.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Milani.
move to approve the use of Sourcewell contract number 120721-EVS for the purchase of one Envirosight upfitted 2023 Ford T250 Transit camera van for an amount not to exceed $120,156.84 per quote from Standard Equipment dated September 21st, 2022, and to authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Parkway tree plantings, fall 2022.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
I move to approve the proposal for fall 2022 Parkway tree plantings to from, that's what it says, Christie Weber and Company for $95,485 plus 5%, $4,774.25 contingency for a total project cost of $100,259.25, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review, and authorize the village manager to approve change orders not to exceed the contingency amount.
Second.
Second.
And the only question I have here is the RFP. Do we make sure we put the appropriate specifications for planting these trees, taking the burlap off and all of that?
Yes, sir.
So they don't die 4 years from now,
Yes.
outside of warranty? Okay, great.
Mr. Mayor, and just so in case people ask, how do you determine, generally, very quickly, how do you determine where these are going and when you're replacing them, that type of thing?
Part of the assessment that we just completed identified several locations of past trees that have passed away, and we're planting in those locations. Also, we've stump grinded a lot of locations as well. So some residents have asked us when those trees are returning.
Thank you.
And one thing that everyone should know is that you'll see here, there's a lot of different kinds of trees here, and, shingle oak, hackberry, Kentucky coffee, some things you don't see all the time, ginkgo. The reason that we do that is because the village did in the past, like a lot of villages, is they planted a ton of ash trees because they were great Parkway trees. They handled drought, they handled floods, they looked nice, they had nice color, all of those things. The problem is when emerald ash borer came, usually a disease or an insect is specific to a specific tree. And so we lost 60% of our overall inventory. So now we try to make sure we spread that out so that if you lose trees on your block, it's not like Catalina where you went from being an understory block of trees, or a block, it was literally an understory, to nothing. Because every tree on the entire block was, for multiple blocks, were ash trees. So we try to avoid that so that if you lose one here and there, you lose one here and there. The only question I have is I see for species here, I see the Ohio buckeye, which is a great tree, but it's an understory tree.
Okay.
So can we check that to see, with our arborists, but my experience as an arborist is they don't do very well in the open sun, kind of burn up. So there's not that many of them here, 4 or 5, something like that, but, so.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right. And then the only other thing I would say is ginkgo trees grow about that much a year. So they grow really slow. So hopefully there's other trees around them if they're in. They'll be beautiful in 100 years, but they're going to be really small. So
Roger.
that's all I have. Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Joni, you still there?
I am. I said aye.
Okay. Speak up a little.
Okay.
Phase 3 Construction Engineering Services, 94th Avenue Award.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to accept the proposal from HR Green Incorporated of New Lenox, Illinois for the Phase 3 Construction Engineering Services, 94th Avenue Construction Management for an amount not to exceed $115,053 and authorize village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
The only question I have on this, Joel and George, is that we went to the we went through the RFQ process with all these engineers, so we're getting quotes on all our engineering, which is different than how we did things in the past. It appears to me that it's working well, but what do you see from your perspective, from a pricing perspective, and all of that, how we're doing on this?
Actually, yeah, those kind of options for RFPs are actually been doing very well with the pricing. We're seeing competitive bidding. Some of the A&E firms, I would say, want to do certain types of work, and so they tend to lean and price accordingly as well of their specialties. But overall, we're getting good bids overall.
Okay, great.
So on the federal QBS process, so whenever there's federal funds involved, this is a process that we're mandated to go through. So the actual pricing, the first step of it is scoring, and then the higher score is the person that the village starts negotiating with. It's at that point where they provide the pricing. Prior to that, we can't see the pricing. So with any of these projects, we do have an engineer's estimate prior to that, and so we compare what they are providing us against that engineer's estimate, and we found that the QBS process is within the estimated pricing.
Right, but we were also doing, I realize this is a slightly different process, but we're also doing it ourselves. We're requiring bidding on each different project, and so overall, we're seeing better pricing than what we've gotten in the past with.
Absolutely, everything now has an RFP or a bid, all of our engineering services.
Great, awesome. Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the State of Illinois and the Village of Orland Park appropriating funds for the 94th Avenue resurfacing project.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
move to adopt a resolution entitled Resolution Approving an Intergovernmental Agreement with the State of Illinois and the Village of Orland Park appropriating funds for the 94th Avenue resurfacing project.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Is this another bill we'll get sent to in 13 or 14 years?
No, actually, they're going to pay it all, and then we will only reimburse 20% back to them.
Yeah, but we're going to get that bill in 13
Oh,
or
yes,
14
sure,
years.
yeah. When will they ask for it is the question, correct.
You're right.
Right.
Oh, I'll be 70. Great.
Accept 2023 to 2027 utility rate study and adopt an ordinance amending Title IV, Chapter 3 of the Orland Park Village Code to establish water and sewer rates for fiscal years 2023 through 2027.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to accept the water, sewer, and stormwater cost of service and rate study prepared by NewGen Strategies and Solutions dated August 30th, 2022, and move to approve an ordinance amending Title IV, Chapter 3 of the Orland Park Village Code to establish water and sewer rates for fiscal years 2023 through 2027.
Second.
And this is the same thing we discussed a couple of cows ago. The only thing I have here is I know that in the future we want to look at making these bills monthly, so they're more of a regular thing. It won't be as much as the big bills you're seeing now. Granted, it's the same total. It's not going to change the total, but it will smooth out your outflow. So something for the board to keep in mind for the future.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee
did
Reardon.
we also talk about possibly putting on the water bill, and again, we haven't maybe vetted this, maybe we need to talk about it more, but putting on there the specific amounts that are going towards this redundancy project, and so people see that, I mean, again, I don't know, we don't put too much on, then they don't read any of it, but to understand, some of the reasons why these costs are going up so dramatically, that, Oak Lawn, obviously we can put it on our website and things like that, but, Oak Lawn runs it through there, so they set the rates, and then we have this whole project going on, so is that something that we want to?
So similar to the monthly billing, we do run into some programming issues with our water billing under the current program. So as we transition to our new ERP, which is not going to really happen until 2024, we'll have a lot more flexibility with that.
Okay, in lieu of that, maybe then when this gets approved and starts getting ready, maybe it's part of our program to put out there on our website and things that, here's the reasons why. We understand that they're going up, we understand it's difficult, but here's some of the reasons why, just some sort of short summary of the cost involved in this redundancy project, and that we really don't control it, and that we don't make money on it. It's not like, we only charge enough to, run the program, run the water, run the sewers, maintain it, those types of things.
Yeah, we've already started. We did it as part of our, the first city newsletter that went out in print in 22, and we're going to do the same thing in 3, a very robust section about utilities.
Great.
Yeah, and make sure we include in there that, this includes the Tinley Park project that was pushed off for so long. It includes all these ponds that weren't maintained that we have to catch up on. All these things are included in our water rate, but we have to do this to keep our water system and to keep our water, we all want clean drinking water, and so we need that. And, it's getting more expensive, it's true, but we're still a lot less than every other town around, except for the 2 that charge us.
We don't look very far to our east or even south of areas that are having difficult times with their water based on their pipes and their systems and, having to boil. I mean,
And we don't have any of that.
yeah, exactly. So.
Yep.
That's what we want to make sure we never
Very
have.
blessed.
Okay. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. I will do the mayor's report.
Mayor's report.
So for the mayor's report, I really want to talk about something that's really hitting us all a lot. We all know we're all dealing with inflation across the board. Energy prices have skyrocketed. It impacts all of us personally. No one's immune. The reason I'm talking about it tonight is because there are costs associated with these skyrocketing prices that we don't really consider on a day-to-day basis. Most people don't. We do because we're sitting on the board. And that's the cost that government bodies that provide services to all of us and what those costs of those government bodies are. And it's important because we, the people, all the residents out there, we fund these government entities. So when those prices go up, somebody has to fund those things. Last year, we increased the budget significantly to account for increased prices from last year. So in spite of this, the prices have gone up so much that we are still way over budget, including over $125,000 extra for electricity just in a couple of departments, $200,000 for natural gas, and over $300,000 for fuel. To put this in perspective, that money would fix 3 parks, do approximately 10% of our local road program, or would require a property tax increase of about 5% to cover those costs. Or it requires us to defer capital projects or make other cuts. So it's important to realize that these impacts go beyond just your wallet. They affect your wallet in another way, in a secondary way. All the government, it's not just us either. It's Illinois, it's Cook County, it's every taxing body that you're dealing with is dealing with these issues. So inflation permeates all of that. It's very, very costly beyond just your bottom line because it's going to impact your tax rates, your property tax rates, all of that. So keep that in mind. That's why it's really important that we address these because it definitely has a huge impact on our community, on all the communities in Illinois, and all the communities in the United States. We will deal with them because we're in a strong position to do so. Not every town is as fortunate. But thanks to the decisions we've made, we will be able to deal with this. But they do have, make no mistake, it does have a real impact on all of our lives on a day-to-day basis.
Any non-scheduled citizen visitors? Seeing none. Board comments.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Okay. Given the hurricane that we all, heard about, the Hurricane Ivan, I wanted to remind everybody about Code Red to sign up for it so you get the immediate emergency notifications. And I also wanted to comment to Parks and Rec and what a great job that they did this past weekend. I went to the pumpkin party on Saturday, and it was just fun to get outside and just to see all the kids dressed up and the horse and carriage ride and the DJ, and everybody just had a great time. They had some perfect weather for it, but definitely kudos to them. I planned a lot of these events in my life, just in my own career. I know how much work goes into it, and they did a really great job. So I wanted to kudos to you guys, and thank you for all of your hard work. There's a lot of events coming up, Stuff Bag and Farms and the History Museum. So, get on the website and check them out.
Trustee Healy.
Mr. Mayor, I have 2 comments to make tonight. The first one has to do with, I've been in attendance at some a monthly financial meeting with Kevin and George and some of the accounting staff going over some of the numbers, and as well as some budget meetings to look at some stuff. And from an accountant's perspective, it's really exciting to see the software that they've got, putting it to use well. And I think that's a credit to George and Kevin and that to piece it together, albeit with a lot of some part-time help and everything like that, but it's really making, I think it's really having an effect, and the transparency, which I think we're really good at now, is just going to get even better as these programs come in more into play. And my second comment has to do with something I heard off the news the other day by a person on the news, and oftentimes as an Irishman, I'm reluctant to compliment other people on their things, but there was the Prime Minister of Italy, of all places, Giorgia Meloni, probably not Maloney like Irish, but She said that she basically gave a speech in Italy a while back, and she's a conservative leader of that country, and she basically said that they're under attack, but their national identity is under attack. They attack religious identity, gender identity. They attack the family identity. And my perspective is that we want to maintain, one thing we're proud of here is maintaining our identity as a family community, that we want to be here to raise families today and into the future. And I think we see enough attacks about the family and religion and God going on that, you have to defend what we have now. It's not just taking for granted. So I think this Georgia Maloney was right on from her perspective, but I would encourage everybody to take a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, and you're right, there's nothing like accounting software to get us all very excited.
I tried to humble my enthusiasm about that, so.
Trustee Reardon.
Thanks. I want to echo what Trustee Ratajkowski said. If you have family, friends in the, Florida, pretty much the whole state, keep them in mind. Keep them in mind. There's some really good organizations to donate your time and some of your money if you can. I have family down there, and some of the pictures and videos I've seen are absolutely devastating. And in the world of insurance and legal issues, it's not all going to be covered. There's going to be people that are really going to struggle because some of those companies are going to go bankrupt, and people are going to need a lot of help. So keep them in mind. And then secondly, I think she also mentioned we got some great fall activities coming up. October, November, there's a lot of stuff going on in the village, so keep an eye out on our website, Twitter, Facebook, those types of things. I'm glad to see that the rest of the state and maybe even the rest of the country is waking up to the Safety Act. I wasn't here the night that it was passed. I fully supported the resolution of the board, even though I wasn't here. But it is nice to see that people are actually taking notice and looking deeper into what's actually in the legislation. And thinking that maybe there needs to be some changes before January 1st. So I'm glad to see that finally there's some traction maybe behind that. And I'm glad to see, again, we just went through this in my firm, going through our insurance costs, and it's great to see that we are, first of all, below, going negative, down over 12 or 10 years now, which is fantastic, keeping our costs under control, but that our employees are keeping the same rate. We're not asking more of them, and that keeps us competitive in terms of keeping good employees, recruiting good employees. So that was encouraging to see tonight. So other than that, have a great week.
Thank you. Trustee Compass.
I have no comments that wouldn't be redundant, so I yield.
Wow. Trustee Malani.
Just want to let everybody know on October 15th, from 8 to 2, we'll be having our Citizens Police Academy at the Orland Park Police Department Training Room. You can find more information on our website for signing up. It'll be a great opportunity to learn about how our police officers work, how they do their day-to-day activities, and learn a little bit about, maybe a possible career in the future. So invite everybody to come and check that out. And also, I think this is our last board meeting in here for a while. So we'll be missing all of our attendees unless you decide to come over to the to the new location, and looking forward to the improvements that are going to be in this room. So thank you, everybody, for coming tonight, and see you next meeting.
Trustee Katsinas.
I too wanted to echo what Trustee Ratajkowski said. The Great Pumpkin Party was truly a great pumpkin party. It was so much fun, and the amount of time that the staff put in all the different events they had there was really something. But in addition to, it was great seeing the kids in costume. It was also great to see Trustee Ratajkowski there. Appreciated that. One thing I did want to mention, the Orland Park Police Department is having a senior luncheon. It will be next Monday at noon at our Civic Center. And if you're interested in attending, please check our website. Thank you.
Thank you all for your comments. And yes, our board meetings will be moving to the police training room for, what, 2 board meetings or 3? Three board meetings. So we'll be back here in December. So hopefully we'll be back here for the first board meeting in December with a totally revamped boardroom, which was approved quite some time ago. So looking forward to that. Also, I want to echo the comments about the hurricane, there's a lot of our residents that maybe have second homes down there, which I know is a bit of a first world problem, but still it's a real problem when that's where you spend half your year, you're retired and that's where you spend half your year, and they're devastated in those areas. And so keep that in mind. Keep in mind that there's ways to help, and go to the Red Cross or other places to seek to donate to those areas to get them the help that they need. Florida seems to be running things pretty well relative to some of the other things that we've seen in other places, so they're doing great. But it was truly an awful hurricane. Also, something important for everyone to know for businesses. On October 11th, we'll be doing a Safety Act discussion, myself and the chief, in the morning on October 11th, and then in the evening at 6 o'clock, we'll be doing the same thing. So we're going to be trying to get you the information you need. So if you have questions about it, we may not be able to answer every question because it's a 767-page bill, but we'll give you the best information that we have. There are a few good things in it. Most of it we do already, but there's a lot of bad in it, and you need to know, and businesses need to be prepared. Because you're going to have to deal with some things like, do you want to put cameras in? Do you want to have security? And all these types of things that you're now going to have to deal with because of this act. So, it'd be good to, if you have questions about that, it'd be good to come. It's going to be at the Civic Center. What are the times on that? Someone? Look.
10 a.m. and 6.
So 10 in the morning for businesses, and then 6 for the general public. You can obviously come at the business one as well, but it's going to be geared more towards businesses than the individual residences. So we'll have our attorneys there too to help answer questions that we can't, and try and get you the best information as possible, because it's a horrendous law and needs a lot of fixing, and probably just a repeal and go through the process you would normally go through, which is engage all of the stakeholders like you probably should for something that big, and maybe take it off in like little smaller bite-sized pieces and get it done right. So, which is the way it should have been done to begin with. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon. Aye. Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Adjourned before 7:30. Land speed record.